Hi guys, Dorothy here, Professional Astrologer. You can find me on the web, nhastrologer.com. Today I'm going to talk about the astrological forecast for the week that begins with January 14th. I am going to extend into Monday the 21st because we do have a fantastic eclipse on that day. It is a full moon, it's a super moon, it's an eclipse moon. I'm going to tell you all about it. But before we talk about that, I am going to tell you about the week ahead. So stay with me and I'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Let's get started. There's a lot to talk about, so sit down, get a cup of coffee, and listen. Monday the 14th, we have Mercury making a sextile aspect to Neptune. Now, this happens in the morning, and so we start the day off. Mercury in Capricorn is logical and practical, and just really straight thinking. When it makes an easy aspect to Neptune, this means we're going to want, to me, it feels like we want quiet, calm environment, right? We're really looking to have a peaceful day. But, and there is a big but here, and it's in capital letters, we do have the moon in Aries making a conjunction to Uranus in Aries. This is just before 11 a.m. East Coast time, and that is energizing. That's like having the 2-year-old, we used to have playpens, the 2-year-old in the corner playing loud, making all kinds of fun. It's fun, it's exciting, they're just learning, but making lots and lots of noise, right? And then you just want to sit there and quiet and read a book. It's just not going to happen. So we're feeling both of these energies today. It's like two very distinct energies going on. One, calm, easy, let's relax, and the other one is super busy, super energized. So be innovative, be creative, and just know that there's a lot of fire in the day. But then if you need and you're overwhelmed, find that time to engage the Mercury and Neptune that is present for us to use and get into a little more of peaceful, quiet, calm place through meditation. Take a 5-minute walk, things like that, which is what Monday is all about. So we also have in the afternoon, after all this busy stuff going on with Aries, the moon does enter the sign of Taurus, and it's going to stay in the sign of Taurus until Monday night at 8 o'clock. So what I'm going to talk about now is Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, so 15th and 16th. So 2.5 days in the sign of Taurus. This is an opportunity for us to really engage with the things we love. The moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, so it loves to feel the comfort of things. Whatever it is, those things are for you, because everybody has a little different opinion of what they love. Setting goals, or at least fine-tuning our goals based on what we need in our day-to-day lives, day-to-day living, and the things that are comfortable for us. What is our comfort? This is that moon in Taurus. So focus on that for yourselves as we're coming to this full moon eclipse in a few more days. All right? Excellent. Moving on to Thursday. Over the next 2.5 days, the moon is going to be in the sign of Gemini. On Thursday, the moon makes aspects to, let me read my notes, Venus, Mars, Saturn, Neptune, and Jupiter, all within 7 hours in the afternoon on Thursday. So this shows me, it reminds me that I know I'm a Gemini. When the moon's in Gemini, there's always a lot of conversation going on. When the moon is in that zodiac sign, all of us are feeling this need to communicate a little bit more. If it's something you're not comfortable with, we're going to be inspired with all the transits the moon makes to all of the planets I just mentioned to talk, to speak, to go deep, to talk about what our feelings are, to talk about what we want, and to have those conversations with those that we love so we can have this open dialogue and really get information flowing between two people and even in groups. But this is mainly when we're talking about the moon, it's really a personal thing, right? So getting in touch with how you feel through communicating and talking with others. So don't hold back if you have an opportunity to get some clarity, especially Thursday with somebody through conversation. All right, I hope you can follow through on that, which will be helpful for you. I just have some notes here. I wish I had a teleprompter because this is all written out because I've written it out, so I'll post it so you're able to read it as well on my website and in the YouTube channel as well. Moving on to Friday the 18th. The moon is still in Gemini, so carry on those conversations if you still feel the need to do that. But we also have, let me look at my notes, Venus in Sag, which is ready to play and have fun and explore, makes a trine aspect to Mars in Aries. He's also ready to play and explore and have a lot of fun. This is really energizing energy to learn, to experience life, to really get involved hands-on in a project. Have fun with this. Because as we get closer and closer to this eclipse, a lot of people are just, make it too serious. So I want you to play and have fun. So that's my optimistic point at looking at this and what's going on right now. We do have Mercury and Pluto making a connection as well, which this is going to ramp up the seriousness of the conversations while the moon is still in Gemini. So there is a lot of conversation going on for quite a few days. So don't delay. If you have something to say, let it come up because it's going to be very, very healing for all of us right now. And especially if you're feeling the need to do it. So with Venus and Mars making a trine aspect today, play, have fun on one area. But on the other area, we have this conversations that still need to bring things to the surface so we can see what they are, so we can process and heal whatever it is that comes from the depths. Because when things come from super deep, we tend to have emotional triggers or stuff connected to them, and it's great to talk this stuff out, especially while we have these transits going on. Sometimes it can feel scary. I know. Sometimes we don't want to have those conversations, that just have been lingering and hanging out there. My sweater keeps falling off my shoulders. So we have this, we have these opportunities with transits like this and powerful eclipses that are coming along to help us to motivate us to say things we need to say when we're not always ready, but we should be ready. If it comes up, that means you're ready, even if you don't feel like you are, right? I know. That's life. That's normal life. Who hasn't been through that before, right? I know. All right, on Saturday, the moon's already moved into the sign of Cancer in the night, and that's its home sign, so it's comfortable here, and it wants to engage feelings a bit more. Since we've just had a couple of days worth of talking things out, that can get exhausting after a while. And so now we need to slow down, sit back, and process how we feel about things, because that's going to be the most important thing that we do right now. But the point is here is we actually have a lot of really deep aspects happening. We have the moon making a square to Mars and is opposite the sign of the planet Saturn. And so when we have this going on, and Mars and Saturn will square during the eclipse on Monday the 21st, what does this mean? This means that we have the potential to work through things that we need to work through. The moon square Mars can produce anger, but it can also help us to be incredibly motivated to take action where we've been feeling stuck, all right? So these are two potentials, and there's multiple more potentials, but those are the two main potentials that I see. And then what about the moon opposite to Saturn? Now, the moon opposite to Saturn, we can feel sad and oppressed, depressed, like our emotions aren't being met or people don't understand us. That's one way to look at it. And another way to look at the moon opposite Saturn transit is to see that, to feel your own stability, to feel your own strength, and be your own support in self-understanding and self-realization. The point is, me just showing you two sides of things is that I want you to recognize is that we always have a choice. We always have a choice how we want to respond to what's going on around us and even what's going on within us. That is the main purpose for me when I give you like two options. I'm very much optimistic person, and yeah, bad things do happen and things are hard to handle sometimes, but we still can handle them with grace and understanding, especially with compassion for ourselves and others. And these are the potential things that are going on right now as we're working up to this eclipse. All right. So Sunday, the 20th, the sun enters the sign of Aquarius. So now for the next astrological month, the sun in Aquarius is here to help inspire us to think outside the box, to do things that are unique and different, to feel a sense of freedom wherever we hold our Aquarius energy, and to, gather together in groups and come together for causes. Those are all very generic things about what Aquarius is, but they're valid things. So look and see where any of that is important for you. And if you feel inspired to go help or do something different, then this is the time of year that you're going to do it. Aquarius is very unique and individual and very, very innovative too. So that fixed air energy just reminds me of really cold weather here in New England, which is what it is this time of year. And so but it's sharp and it wakes you up. And so that's what that Aquarian energy is. Has so much to do with opening up that mind and getting us out of our ruts. So important. And that happens just hours before we have this big thing. So here's the mouthful. It's a full moon lunar eclipse. And so that makes it a blood moon. Since the sun is behind the earth is putting its shadow of sunsets all over the moon. That makes it look reddish. So it's called the blue moon. It's the winter, it's the full moon in January. So that is the wolf moon in some instances. And it is a super moon because it is within a certain parameter that NASA has decided makes the moon a super moon, which means it's closer to us than it usually is. The first 3 full moons of 2019 are all super moons, and later in the year the new moons will all be super moons, but you can't see a new moon, so it's not a big deal. So you're going to get a lot of news, media, and hype about this full moon lunar eclipse on the 21st. I'm jumping ahead because the 20th, it's the night of the 20th if you live east of the Eastern time zone, and it is in the morning on the 21st if you're from East Coast to West Coast of the US. So you just have to look at your own time zone and where it is. Back to Sunday a little bit, because there is still some stuff before the eclipse that's important to speak of. And before the moon enters the sign of Leo, which is where the eclipse is, we actually have the moon making a connection to Pluto, Mercury, and Uranus right before the eclipse. So a few hours before the eclipse on Sunday night, Monday morning. So when the moon in Cancer does connect to these planets, this is, again, another deeper level of feeling and emotion that is coming up to the surface. When that moon is full, and especially when we're getting to this eclipse, the draw on the planet is super strong. And so more emotions come up to the surface that we need to process and work on. Now, if you don't have anything, don't create a problem. But if you do feel something bubbling up, make sure you spend some time for yourself and look at what it is that's going on within you. Because these are personal things. And so take time for yourself on Sunday night to process whatever you're feeling, because the moon has been very, very active this whole week, and coming to this eclipse makes it even stronger, because we can be overly emotional with this. But if you need to process something and this is how it's presenting itself, then this is what you need to do. So work on those things. Give yourself that opportunity to really address whatever's coming up for you. And so back to the big news, even though I announced that a minute ago. The big news on the 21st, East Coast time, it is at 12:16 a.m., right? And I want you to know what we get from this Leo full moon, right? So, of course, Leo's going to show itself off like this, right? So, hey, I'm a Leo. Sorry. Leos are very, very showy, right? And so we have every title we can give a full moon. This Leo full moon has eclipse, blood moon, wolf moon, super moon. So it's like going out on stage and the spotlight is on you, and that's it. First and foremost, pay attention. That's what we need to do. You need to see where this is in your own personal chart. So if you don't know where that is, let me know. I can email you your birthday, your chart. Just send me your birth info. And what we want to know, this full moon is a culmination of what we've been doing over a period of time. Now, how far back do you want to look is up to you. We can look at what you've been doing over the last 2 weeks from the eclipse that we had on January 5th. That was the new moon, and now we're at this month's cycle of full moon. So this culmination is coming to a head, right? So that's one thing you can look at. What are you learning from that 2-week time period? But the longer story and the longer picture in the cycle of the lunar cycle is a cycle that goes about 3 years. And so the first time we saw this was a new moon, and it was July 23rd, 2017. If you're somebody who likes to set goals and put down goals at what new moon, create new moon wishes and things like that, then look back to what you did July 23rd, 2017. And even if you don't do that, look at your calendar, get out your calendar, your journal, whatever you can. Look back to the new moon, July 23rd, 2017. See what you were beginning at that point in the 2 weeks after that period. Because what's happening now is we go forward 9 months, and 9 months brings us to April 22nd, 2018. On that date, we had the first quarter moon, also at 0 degrees of Leo. And now, on January 21st or 20th, depending on where you live, we have a full moon at 0 degrees of Leo. And what amps this up is, of course, is that it's an eclipse. So look back 18 months to those dates. I'll have them on the screen by now. And look at what is culminating, what has come to a point, to a head. 0 Leo is, when anything is a full moon at 0 degrees, this is like unmanifested potential. There are things here that we can still manifest if we're aware of it. So make sure you take time on Monday, Sunday, Monday, and even the few days after this full moon eclipse to look at what you've accumulated up until this point from any of those dates I just gave you, January 5th, July 23rd, July 23rd, 2017, April 22nd, 2018, any of those dates. Look at what you started, look at what's accumulated, look at what's working, and then decide what isn't working. Full moons show us what is not working. It shows us what's working and what isn't working. It's like a mirror right in front of us. We're able to see ourselves, and it's one of those magnifying mirrors. And sometimes we're like, oh no, don't show me that. I don't want to see that so closely. But do that anyways. Leo is wanting us to really see what is working, what our potential is, where we can be more creative or expand our creativity in a direction, or let go of something that isn't working. So now we can be open to new ideas, new thoughts, and new creativity. Is there anything else I want to do? No, that's it for now. I did go to Monday, the 21st. So next week's forecast, I don't know if it will include this again or not. I don't know. But this is an eclipse forecast, so please share everywhere. I appreciate that for those of you watching this on YouTube and Facebook. Do I want to say anything else? Am I inspired to say anything else? No, that's good. That was a lot. We got 20 minutes up right there. All right, guys, thank you very much. Blessings. Namaste.